Harrisburg Stampede. Justin Coble with
I
us.
gotta change the freaking...
Oh, there it is.
Basically, they were
It's
playing
Major
Major League with a real game, yeah.
Oh, shit, there's the Hattie.
Welcome to this episode of the Non-Litter Sports Podcast, the home of sports talk for the average Joe. My name is Jason.
I'm David.
And thanks for joining us. You've been my best friend for over 20 years. And the anger I felt when I saw that you made this our topic for the week, I am wholeheartedly not prepared to talk about this.
Oh, we can pick something else if you want.
No, let's do it.
Because know people are gonna ask, and I was already asked this week already.
I've been asked, and
I've already been asked. Right. Might as well just bite the bullet and get it over with, right?
We are now in dead October.
Yeah, pretty much.
Obviously, if you listen to us long term, you know that David and I are both Phillies fans. Let me set the stage for you. I threw my rally towel Saturday during the game, and I knew right then and there that they weren't winning. I knew right then and there they were not winning the series. I've gotten heat from other Phillies fans, and I'm going to say something, and it's not just myself saying it. I've seen it on the Phillies subreddit. I've seen it on Phillies Facebook groups. At some point, the pandering to the fans, the nods to the fans, the in-jokes, the wah-wah gear, the fanatic love from the players, all of it's going to come to a head if they don't produce. Because you can only kiss our ass so much and not win a championship.
Pretty much. That's basically just sums it up there, because I was the same way. I was just, yeah. I mean, your rally towel went, my hat went flying. It did not end well. I just don't understand, the bats just went dead. It's just, there was nothing.
Let's get into it. Because I've seen a lot of people calling for a lot of things to happen in the offseason. I've seen a lot of people saying they need to fire Topper. I've seen they need to trade Bohm. I've seen they need to trade Castellanos. I've seen they need to overhaul the bullpen. I've seen everyone and anyone say all kinds of things, but no one is consistently saying fire Kevin Long, who's the hitting coach. Someone's head should roll for this. I wholeheartedly agree. Someone's head should roll for it. Why is it going to be Topper's fault if the bats have gone cold 3 freaking years in a row in the playoffs? Once in the World Series, once in the NLCS, and now in the NLDS. They've gotten worse in each year. Whose fault should that be? Is it Topper's as the manager, or is it the hitting coach, Kevin Long?
I say the hitting coach, because he's the one has to work with the players more and more. Because the manager has an overview of everything.
Right.
So he has to go to every piece. But the batting coach should, I think a new one could be at hand.
This is how I look at it. You can say a lot yes, did the bullpen give up runs? Yes, the bullpen gave up runs, but our bullpen was consistent all season. Our rotation outside of Walker was very good this season. So I don't think I would put anything on our pitching coach, Caleb Cotham.
No,
when I look at that lineup,
he did great. I mean, the pitching coach I've had, like you said, everything went well.
I mean, did Hoffman and Strom struggle in the playoffs? Yeah, they did. But there's still 2 guys I would call up in a heartbeat if I needed a reliever in the playoffs. Those games against the Mets were the outlier for them. They were 2 consistent guys out of the bullpen all season. Or they wouldn't have re-signed Strom on an extension if they didn't think he was reliable and consistent.
Yeah.
But for the bats to have gone as cold as they have, I look at Kevin Long, who is supposed to be this hitting guru. If he's a hitting guru, explain the last 3 playoff runs. And you can't even blame it on the break because it's the exact same thing that happened last year against Arizona and 2 years ago against the Asterix.
Yeah.
Sorry, this whole thing pisses me off.
You don't say. But no, I mean, yeah, I've heard that they should fire the manager. They should look at, trading. Well, like you said, start trading players. But no, because consistently, like you said, in the playoffs, the bat's gone dead. Bats just come completely cold, and the pitching was there. Okay, yeah, you can only. Let's put it this way: you can throw so many. You can throw so many pitches. Somebody's gonna be able to hit something. It's just a matter of time.
Here's another thing, and it's one of the things that kind of pisses me off about people talking about the bullpen giving up runs. If this was the first half of the season, Phillies runs, and the Phils would have, they would have had the insurance runs to the bullpen could give up 2 home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That team in the beginning of the season, they were doing more than hitting home runs. And that's another thing that, again, to me, says we need to get away from Kevin Long. The 3 teams that have eliminated us for the playoffs in the last 3 years, the Stros, the Diamondbacks, and now the Mets, they all strung runs together. They all put guys on base, brought guys home. What do the Phils do when it's time for them to come up to the bat? They're
Singles.
trying to fucking kill it to hit a home run. Stop that shit. See, this is...
Look, I agree 100%. I agree with you 100%. What good is home run when there's nobody on base?
I get the modern game is geared towards launch angles and dingers and all that shit. Dingers are only fun for so long.
I agree. I agree with you cold-heartedly on that one. I mean, it's...
Did I cut out at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, Christ on a cracker.
Well, hey, fits with the topic, I guess. Everything going south. But no, I mean, I agree with that it's just, if you have people on base, okay, fine. Home run's great, more runs. But you hit a ball to the gap, it just kind of cycles, runs through.
Right.
That's my thought on that. I mean, I'd rather see somebody hit a good shot to the gap and bring in 2-3 runs and just keep the cycle going.
I said it all playoffs. Like, just, you don't need to kill the ball. Just get it in. Just get the ball in.
Get on base.
You don't need to do this. Yep.
I mean, okay, there's 2 people on base. You launch one, there's 3 home runs. Or yeah, 3 homers. There's 3 runs. And I mean, okay, yeah. A lot of times, okay, you just hit it, you get good contact with it, it goes out. There you go. You got a homer, you got a run. But when that's all that is being taught and discussed is home runs, I mean, even the best players can't hit home runs every time. Doesn't matter who you are. So what's the point of constantly trying to hit home runs?
Right. I mean,
that's... Yeah,
I don't. There's only so much I can say about it before I get real fired up. And I am fired up. I'm going to be fired up. Lifelong Phillies fan. You all know this. I don't know why I need to say it again. I'm so used to failure with this franchise, and so many of us wear it as a badge of honor. that we almost predict they lose before they ever win. And
that's just Philly sports right there. That's just Philly sports in general. I've done that several times with the Flyers.
The only time I was certain they were winning a World Series was 08. I knew as soon as that season started they were winning a World Series. And it blows my mind. I would say on paper, you look at this team and you compare them to the 08 team, you compare them to the 93 team, even compare them to the 80 team. I would say on paper, this team should be better.
Paper.
This team has, if I had to say anything about this team, I would say they have the combination of 08 and 93. They got the clubhouse atmosphere in 93, and they play hard-nosed baseball when they need to, like 08, but there's something just lost in translation. And look, the 08 team was guilty of just trying to hit dingers too. That's what they did at the end when the team collapsed. They stopped playing small ball and they just went for dingers all the time. And look, I love a home run, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing more exciting than seeing guys steal bases and leg out singles and doubles. And plus, playing small ball forces the defensive team to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You are now taking the game out of their hands because they have to play under pressure. There's no pressure when you're watching guys swing and miss. You can be relaxed out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got to play through, let's say, shortstop. Oh, shit, he missed it. Now we got to worry about him going to second. Now we got to worry about, okay, now we got to run on second, run on first. Bases loaded. Now one mistake could be 2 runs.
Look at that lineup up and down, outside of Schwarber. Because look, Schwarber God bless his heart, he tries to take second base sometimes, and it doesn't work out. And look, I get it.
Yeah, that's bit him in the ass. That's bit him in the ass a few times.
I get it. Us big guys, we like to try and show off what little bit of speed we got. Schwarber, stand first. You don't need to take second. Let Trey Turner move you to second, okay? But up and down that lineup, you got Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, JT Realmuto, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas. Outside of Schwarber, all those guys have the speed to take a base. They all have the speed to do it.
Yeah,
and I've seen them do it.
It's just getting on base instead of trying to swing for the fences.
It is a wholesale change in batting philosophy this team needs. Get Kevin Long out. I don't know who you're going to find, but you got to find someone who can change the philosophy. Because when you're down and out, you need to just get the ball in play. Get the ball in play. That's going to change momentum just as much as a home run.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You get one good hit going, you're going to start the momentum. Not just a home run, but just, let's say, a shot to the gap, and that's going to start, momentum through, and then start building and building and building, and bam, it's just going to hit. But yeah,
pisses me off to no end. And you know what? I love Drunk Phil's Fan. Probably one of my favorite pages on Facebook is Drunk Phil's Fan. I interact with Drunk Phil's Fan. My friend Arlene is a big interactor with Drunk Phil's Fan. And he was saying they need to get rid of Boehm. And I don't agree with that. And here's why. And I even said it on the post, and Drunk Phil's Fan liked it. I'm just dropping that name. Let me pick it back up. He made a post about they need to get rid of Alec Boehm because Boehm is he throws tantrums. He's a crybaby. He is immature. And in my comment, I said I would much rather keep Alec Boehm, who shows emotion on the field, who lets us know when he's fired up, when he's pissed off. I would rather see that than watch another clubhouse interview of one of the big name players where they're like, well, we just got to do better tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we didn't do good tonight. We didn't play like ourselves tonight. Tomorrow we'll go out and we'll do better. Fuck that. Show me your fire. Throw your helmet when you strike out. Slam your bat on the ground. Show me you're angry that what is happening is happening. Don't give me this bullshit, calm approach to the game. Get fired up.
I agree with that 100%. Show that emotion, because that's what, that could spark other players just to be like, okay, yeah, he's right. We got to change something. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of those interviews are probably like, hey guys, can't say too much shit. You got to keep it down a little bit. So don't get too out of hand. Probably that's what they're told, but still.
But it sends a bad message to the fans. Because it sounds like
they don't care.
Yes. Yes, it sounds like they do not care, and that frustrates me even more. And look, I get that Bryce is the biggest offender of wearing Fanatic gear and doing Wawa gear and doing John gear and cheesesteak gear and whatever fucking Ice Wooder gear and all that shit. I get it. He's the biggest offender of doing it. But it only goes so far if you come off like you don't care. And I love this team. I love this lineup. I think they got a great clubhouse vibe. I think they got all the tools to do it. And as far as talent goes, but if you have the wrong coaching philosophy, that can take the talent away, and it has. And I think Kevin Long needs to go. Thank you, fuck you, bye, Kevin Long, okay?
You okay?
No, because they should still be playing.
Oh, they should be playing 100%.
They should be facing the Dodgers. Instead, it's going to be the Mets and the Dodgers. And look, it was funny that there was a thread on the Phillies Reddit about, like, do you have any friends who are Mets fans? How did the series go? A friend of the program, Matt, referee Matt, he's a Mets fan because he as a kid he lived in New York. And then they moved to the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area. So he's a Mets fan, understandably so. And we were messaging back and forth, and once I knew it was over, like it was the 8th inning, I said, hey, they're not coming back. I know this team. They're not coming back. Congrats. Enjoy the run. I would say I'm happy for you, but right now is not the time I want to say that. I said, congrats. Enjoy it. And he just wrote back, I appreciate it. I understand. And I probably haven't talked to him since then. Not because I'm angry, but just because we haven't had anything to talk about since then.
Yeah.
But I'm never
a couple Mets fans, and I yet to say a word to them.
I have said numerous times on this show and on the Phillies Baseball Together podcast that I think amongst a subsect of Mets fans and amongst a subset of Phillies fans, there's a mutual understanding that our franchises are very similar in just the stench of failure. So I do hold more respect for Mets fans than I do Bravos fans and Nats fans and Marlins fans for our division. Because there's just years of shit that both franchises fans have dealt with. So I'm not mad at Mets fans. I'm not even mad at the Mets. They outplayed us.
Yeah, I'm mad. Is an understatement.
I am mad at the team. And I don't care if there are a group of fans who think I'm a doomer. I see that on fucking Reddit a lot. Or I don't care about the team because I'm mad at them. No, I care very much about the team because I'm mad at them. And it's okay to be mad and disappointed at your team. It means you're a fan.
We just know the team and how they are. Like as soon as it was 4-1 when that grand slam hit, I was like, that's it. As soon as that grand slam was,
how many times did you want to turn the game off?
I can't count that high. I mean, I know hockey season in full swing, so I had it going back and forth, and even that just to kind of try to tear me from getting pissed off. So I was getting more pissed off. I was like, I got to turn this off.
How great is YouTube TV having the split screen?
Oh, I love it.
I love it too.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Especially during college football where you can have 4 games on at once.
It's like your own in-home sports bar.
Yeah, pretty much. I love it.
And actually, with your basement setup, it is like an in-home sports bar.
Yes. Yes, it is. I have 2 TVs in my basement. I have a PS4 and a PS5 hooked up to them. So right there, I can have ESPN on one TV, or say ESPN Plus, and then the other one, YouTube TV, with several games going. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
But no, I love that split screen. Absolutely.
I need to deviate for a minute. I was getting fired up. It's just, there's all that potential. And this year should have been,
I mean, the way they played this season, not playoff season, should have showed they should have had a longer playoff run.
Well,
I mean,
yes,
I know seasons and playoffs are two different things, but you kind of...
We're talking about a team that was for sure the best team in baseball for half the season. And then the second half of the season, they were a 500 team. They won just as many games as they lost in the second half of the season. And thank God they were so dominant in the first half of the season that they could basically coast into the playoffs. But the team in the second, they were completely changed after the All-Star break. And plus, Bryce had some days on the shelf. Schwarber had days on the shelf. JT had days on the shelf. Bohm had days on the shelf. Like, they took hits. And I'm not entirely sure that some of these guys were 100% healthy going into the playoffs. I mean, Bryce did an interview where he talked about, if he swings and misses, almost every time he swings and misses, he's hyperextending that elbow. So what kind of shape was he in?
Yeah.
I think, well, I get there's honor in playing hurt. I get it. I get that playing hurt carries a connotation of care and heart. But at the same time, rest up.
What are you doing for your team?
Right.
What are you doing for your team when you're playing that hurt? I mean, yeah, I get it. You want to show that
you're both selfless and selfish at the same time.
You want to show you don't show fear in playing hurt. You just want to you just play through it. But what good are you going to do when you hurt yourself again?
Right.
Within a game that you're back, or a game or two that you're back. How many times have we seen that where a player comes back from injury, then next game or two he's out again because he wasn't 100%?
Right. I think Ranger wasn't 100%. I think he came back and he said he was 100%, but the way he pitched tells you otherwise. I mean, he made it work. I'm not going to, his off-speed stuff was still very good. It was his high-speed stuff that wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just disappointed in how this season went, and I don't know what else to add to that.
Fire. Burn it all. Dumpster fire.
No, I don't think it's that bad yet, because they can go back next year. Like, I legitimately believe they can go back next year. I don't think that's a question. I do think that if they don't do it soon, the wheels will fall off.
Oh yeah, that door is going to be closing. Every year they don't get it right now, that door is closing for who knows how many more years.
And I'm just going to say this, because it gets brought up almost every time you talk about the Phillies window in sports media. I don't think Bryce Harper needs a ring to go down as a Hall of Famer or to go down as one of the greatest Phillies of all time.
No, but it does solidify him as one of the greats.
And I'll
there's always going to be that question. There's always going to be that question, because I say this: it's easier to go down as a great player with a ring. It's easier to be classified as a great player with a ring, because I've heard this conversation before with Alexander Ovechkin and his style of play, the way he plays. He's a Hall of Famer without a ring. no matter what, just because of what he's been doing with the game. But they said it's an easier run to the Hall of Fame with a ring.
Well, I'll make this argument.
Jeremy
Dan
Roenick,
Marino.
Jeremy Roenick. He just made the Hall of Fame this year. And yeah,
Dan Marino,
he
greatest quarterback to not win a championship. He's a Hall of Famer. Still considered one of the all-time best. Just never got a ring. I mean, conversely, internally with the Phils, Kruk didn't get a ring. And he might be more beloved than Schmidt at this point.
What's scaring kids too? I'm sorry, that was great for Kruk. That was great. I'm bored.
Let me say this before we wrap this up, because I see the time. Kruk and McCarthy are. I love when Kruk breaks McCarthy and he just laughs for like 2 minutes straight.
Oh my god, it was great.
When he did that with the kid yelling in the other in the
oh my god, that was
the suite beside their broadcast booth, and he did it with the comment about digging up Jamie Moyer's bones.
Oh.
And it's such a genuine laugh from McCarthy. Like he can't control it because Kruk just caught him so far off guard. I'm going to miss that.
He just catches it. He just like right moment, right time. It's Kruk.
Here's what I think at this point, both sides can agree. I think every baseball fan can agree. The national play-by-play sucks. It sucks. I think moving forward, something should be implemented where, especially since a lot of people stream their services now, implement additional audio feeds. So if you're a Mets fan, number one for Mets. Or if I'm a Phillies fan and I'm in the Phillies area, number one for the Phillies. And I can hear Kruk and McCarthy. Or you can hear whoever calls Mets games. Or you can hear whoever calls whose ever game. And then you don't have to listen. Then you don't have to listen to the national feed. Because let me tell you.
I agree with that 100%.
If I had a baseball bat, I'd go and beat A.J. Przinsky right now because he was as shitty of a commentator as he was as good of a catcher.
Yeah,
I was wishing we had the TBS crew. It was that bad.
So I was sitting here like, come on, talk, monotone, let's go. Come on, move it.
Well, and they don't shut up. Let the game breathe. The game will tell you the story. You don't need to flap your dick licker for a freaking half hour.
Jesus.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm fired up. Nothing pisses me off more than national broadcasting for baseball games. Because it's just always abjectively awful. This isn't the days of Bob Costas and Al Michaels who did their homework.
Oh God!
All
yeah,
right.
that's.
I don't think we can go back from dick licker. So
no, we're gone. We're good. So that'd be the end of the first. We'll be right back.